Hey guys, so this is part two. I talked about this in part one. I'm going to show you what I did. I was getting really hot intake air temperatures, so I did this little modification after using this to find out that I was pulling in really hot air. So I'm going to go out here. I already popped the hood. So what I did is I took this little flex pipe from AutoZone. It's like a flex tube, I should say. It's over by like the Spectre intakes and stuff if your AutoZone has that. But the factory air intake outlet is like right here. I mean, my finger's in between the factory one and the tube's towards the bottom of the stream. Like I'm pressing down on the tube. The factory intake is upward up here. And then what I did is I put this little tube down to the access panel where the fog light access panel is, and then so that way straight on, that's what it looks like. So the air off the air in front of it is hitting this and going straight up into the filter. But what I did is I left a gap. This lowered a little bit. I was messing with my headlights and it lowered a little bit. But it goes up to the factory air intake, so if that gets clogged up down there somehow, this will still pull in some air from where it's supposed to. But while it's moving though, it's probably pulling in mostly the air from that tube. But that helped. It drops down the air intake temperatures pretty quick. After like 6 minutes, it was down to like 8 degrees above ambient. And of driving that same route from AutoZone. So I did same driving habits and stuff, like style, as I was driving it back. I did it for like 10 minutes, and it took like 6 minutes for it to drop down to ambient. So it was like half the time for it to drop down, which was, helps. But this tube though is like, even going like 70 on the highway, on like with the speed limit, this will pull in like 3 degrees above ambient. It even drops down to 2 sometimes on like a cooler day. The hotter day, the road kind of heat soaks, especially if it's like a darker colored pavement. It heat soaks, so like the air that you're getting is still a little bit warmer than it should be. So like the best route would be to be higher off the ground, but I couldn't really do that with this. I didn't have anywhere to go to like the bumper. There's nowhere to cut anything in there to try to get it into like the grill area or even the lower grill to cut out holes and stuff. There really wasn't anything for me to go to. So if I figure something else out, I'm thinking about doing a ram air setup. I don't know how I'm going to get a tube to actually accept it. I'll have to figure something out if I even do it. Other than that though, I'm going to do louvers. And the louvers are going to be basically like up in here or even like towards the front up here. Because I need to worry about getting water on stuff. So wherever I put it on this side, I want to put it, I hate doing stuff like, not symmetrical, so I got to do it on both sides somewhere. So I want to avoid wires or pulleys. There's pulleys right here. I mean, down in there. So I can't put stuff over the fuse box and stuff, and so I got to figure something out. And if I do it where I want to, which I'm thinking, like I said, on the sides or even towards the middle, the engine cover's there, but I don't trust that. So I might do the holes, but leave this here to soak in water. So, the water's gonna be like dripping everywhere. It'll just soak up through that and dry off as it spreads out. But other than that though, like I might have to make like a gutter system or something to direct the water that comes in when it's raining. I'll have to direct it towards like the back over here, so it's just falling in and not hitting anything. But I gotta do the same thing on both sides, and I don't know how to do that exactly. I might end up having to do it in the front up in here to get it to be like in here somewhere, so it's not actually over anything electrical except for the fans. But they should be able to take water, not water, but they should be able to take moisture because it comes in through the grill. But I don't want it dripping on there still, so I'll figure something else out. But that's my modification that I did to help. It doesn't fix it, but it helps a lot, because when you're sitting there idling, it still sits, with the hot air going up in there. So, all right, like and subscribe if you would like, and thanks for watching my video.